Good evening. Thank you for joining my live. Kindly leave a thumbs up and a comment as we are progressing with this live. Today, we are going to have a candid conversation on the things that you should keep private in your life. Sadly, nowadays, most things that are personal, most things that are considered personal are being shared all over the place. I think it's because of social media. But then, when you come and have a sitting with yourself and you ask yourself, was it necessary for me to share this kind of details about my life? Yourself, you have an answer to that question. Nowadays, people's lives are like an open book. You know, an open book? An open book means anybody passing by can be able to read from that book. You don't need even to open the book, you just pass by and you read. It's so sad, but then that is the current state of affairs. It's not too late to learn the kind of things that you can be able to share online and the things that you cannot share online. Most of the things that we are saying that we cannot share are things that if you share, they are going to bring a lot of judgment to yourself. It's going to expose you to everyone who cares to listen. It's going to expose even private details about your life that no one cares about. How about we learn on ways with which we can mum or we can keep quiet on private things about our lives? Everyone has their own private issues, and it's upon you to choose what to share and what not to share. You know, no one is forcing anyone to share. It's on your own volition that you decide to share. So it's something that we have power over, and we can choose what to do and what not to do in the current society that we are living in. Thank you for joining. Kindly leave a thumbs up on this vlog, and I will really appreciate. The first thing that you should not share and keep it private is your intentions. You know, you might have your intentions in life, the things that you're planning to do, the things that you've really sat down and you've planned to do in the future. Don't share those things for everyone who cares to listen, because when you share those kind of private details, your idea or your intentions will not be able to see the light of day. The, thank you. Kindly leave a thumbs up. You know, your future intentions, if I divulge or if I thank you, girl, lots of love. Thank you so much, Joanne, for joining my live. You know, if you share your future intentions, you'll be under pressure if those things don't come to pass. For example, you wanted to go to school, you wanted to get pregnant, you wanted to start a project. If you don't keep such kind of information to yourself and you tell it to other people, and days go by, they are not seeing any pregnancy. Days go by, they are not seeing any construction coming up. Days are going by, they are not seeing you going back to school. Days are going by, they are not seeing you opening any business. You will be under unnecessary pressure because now it's no longer within you. You've given the power to other people, leaving you to undergo a lot of pressure. You know, some things don't go as planned. You might have very good plans, but then things happen. This is the world that we are in, and things tend to happen. So as soon as you share this information to other people, you lose control of that intention, the thing that you plan to do. And now you get into unnecessary pressure from people who are expecting to see results from what you said. Some things you can't hide, like pregnancy, you can't hide. For example, I tell you I'm planning to get pregnant this year, and it coming March, you're seeing nothing. You might want to ask me, Priska, you said you're going to get pregnant. Sioni anything, you can't hide things like those. So why should you put yourself into unnecessary pressure? Keep your future plans to yourself. Nobody cares, but they start caring if you share such kind of very private detail. Another thing is your goals and your dreams. We are about to start another year, the year 2024. We pray God about 2024. But before we even reach the year 2024, we already have our own goals, our own dreams for the year 2024. But because you can't keep mum, you go around sharing your goals for that year. What happens if you don't accomplish those things you went around sharing? What will you tell people at the end of 2024? Because people tend to come and ask, ulisema unanunua gari, where is that car that you said you're going to buy? But because things happened in the middle of the year, now you have nothing to show. You have nothing to show, and you enter to what I usually call unnecessary pressure. What I've come to learn in this world, if you go around sharing your things, you don't know people's hearts. Some people can just cloud your goals and your dreams, and they cease to prosper. That is the end of the story. The moment you let out your private goals and your dreams in life, sometimes it lands into people who are very evil, or people who don't wish you well in your life, and you start seeing problems upon problems. Even the money that you had saved, you get hearing that someone and so is sick, so you have to contribute this, and your dreams get dashed. How about we keep our goals and our dreams private? Let people see the results. No need to divert everything to anybody who cares to listen. The third thing that I'm going to speak about today is your love life. There are people who cannot imagine keeping quiet about anything that is happening around their love life. As soon as they meet someone that maybe was even a prospective husband or a wife, they tell any Tom, Dick, and Harry who is willing to listen, oh, I've gotten a person, I'll be getting married in April, they're going to bring my dowry next month. You don't even have the wisdom to hide little details. You go as far as telling these people that the person is so and so, is working in this organization. You think everybody is happy for you. The man I'm going to marry, even the person has not even proposed. He has just shown an intention in having maybe a relationship with you. And before even things start cooking, PM, BBC, you have broadcasted. Then you start seeing a lot of changes in that person. You start wondering, why is this person suddenly developing cold feet? Kumbe, the people who told these things have gone behind your back to that particular person. Some people have lost relationships that were leading to marriage because they could not keep it mum. Suddenly, you have even gone to a point of telling your parents that nimepata mtu anakuja nini nini, you know those things that you're so excited. You become excited until you fail to have wisdom. Wisdom is of God, and it's something that you can ask God to give you. You parade, you go to the office, everyone knows you've found a new person, and you wonder, why is it that I get people who are serious about marriage, but then nobody is coming even to marry me? You lose 5 serious sweethearts in your life because you cannot keep your mouth shut. You think the people that you are telling are going to be happy for you. You think those people are going to run and shona vitenge, because nowadays when you tell someone I'm about to get married, the next thing they are going to tell you is nitashona kitenge lini. You think now when they tell you nianze kushona kitenge, you think they're happy for you. You let out such a very private matter about your life, something which is very critical about your next phase in life, because you don't have wisdom on the things that you share. And you wonder, 5 years down the line, people have been coming to you, God has been blessing you, you get it because it's a blessing. God has been bringing people to your life to maybe with you to the next stage, but it never materializes. It never grows into anything meaningful. To me, 2 months down the relationship, someone has gone away without any explanation. You start calling, mbona unipigie simu? Kwani what happened? Ulikuwa umesema you will be serious. You now start lamenting. Nilifikiria hii itaenda the next stage. Kwani what's happening? Did I do anything wrong? You start blaming yourself. Kumbe it's because you did not know when to say what. You did not know the right time to even say that very private matter to people close to you. You have not even gone to the step of getting engaged. You have broadcasted your private love life to other people. You will see a very long day. And you will keep crying. Miaka zinaenda, miaka zinarudi. But the day that you will realize that it is your mouth that was causing you all this heartache, it might be too late, or God might help you. You learn it timely. So keep your love life to yourself. Nobody cares. Keep it private until maybe a few days to your maybe engagement or something. Now even tell people, few weeks, maybe, unless your parents and your siblings and people very close to you, that's the time now you're going even to tell your extended family. But don't do it even, no step has been done, you're already mwaga mtama kwa kuku wengi. Thank you. Kindly leave a thumbs up. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining this live. Another thing that you should keep private is your wealth or your possessions. There are people who cannot just keep quiet about what they own in life or the things that they are about to own. Someone has been saving for a car before they even buy the car. All the people they call the inner circle have really dealt with people. They start telling their people within the inner circle that nimesave 1 million kwa account, na nilikuwa nataka kununua nini, nilikuwa nataka kununua shamba, I want to buy a car. You even take these people, you go to a point of taking these people to the specific piece of land that you wanted to buy. But when you go back later to call the owner of the land to tell them that now I'm ready to buy this piece of land, you're told, unfortunately, someone came and the land is already gone. And it was a prime piece of land, that something which was a very good deal. But because you did not know how to keep it to yourself, you lose that opportunity. You lose that very important thing that you thought you were going to have because of exposing your wealth and your possessions. Some people can even plan for You tell people, I have a car, I bought a new car. You think they'll say, congratulations. Some people know how to fake it so much. They'll even tell you, not from their hearts, because we can't measure, we leave that to God. Tell the people in good faith, I have a car, I've bought a new car. Instead, they'll clap for you so that you don't know their hidden intentions or their hearts. They will tell you, congratulations, my brother. Congratulations, my sister. But then they go behind your back and they organize for people to come and steal that thing from you. So keep your wealth and your possessions to yourself if you want to lead a stress-free life. Thank you. Kindly leave a thumbs up. Thank you for those who have joined this live. Today we are speaking about the things that we should keep private in our lives so that we don't get into a lot of stresses in our lives. Kindly leave a chat so that I know you're here. Thank you for joining. Hope you can hear me. People are very quiet today. Hope you can hear me. Another thing that you should keep to yourself is your past. You know, everyone has a past. And you might have done things in your past that you are not proud of. You meet new people, you go to an office, you're starting a job in an office. Thank you, my sister Viola, for joining. I appreciate you so much. You go, you meet new people that don't know anything about you, but because you don't know how to keep quiet, you've already said everything about your past. Oh, mimi nilikuwa mlevi, mimi hata sikumaliza shule, nilikuwa nikienda shule nafukuzwa kwa sababu nilikuwa nachapa walimu. You think you're watu wanacheka. Yeah, you join in the laughter. You think people are now happy for you. You think you're making this, you're entertaining people. Why should you entertain people with your past life? At home, nimeolewa mara 5. I'm hoping the current marriage I'm in is going to hold. A lot of unnecessary things about your past. Let me tell you, everyone has a past. There are some things that might have happened in the past that you are not proud of. There are some things that might have happened some years back that you are not proud of, but you don't need to tell anyone about it. That is your own secret. Keep it to yourself. Nobody cares about it. There's no need for you to go around blabbing about it. People start judging you all of a sudden, and you start wondering, what have I done wrong that people are judging me? What have I done wrong that everybody is looking down upon me? Even people are respecting you. Suddenly, you see some kind of disrespect. You see people, they have started seeing you in a new way. Nobody is taking you seriously anymore. It's because you did not know when to say some certain things that you did in the past. Let the past remain in the past. Everyone has a past, and you don't owe anybody any explanation of the things that you might have done in your past. Keep it to yourself. Another thing, thank you. Leave a thumbs up so that we can be able to have a conversation. Thank you so much. Another thing that you should keep private about your life if you want peace of mind is things happening in your relationship. For example, you're married, but then things are not going as you expected. You've spoken about your love life. Now we're speaking about maybe you're in a relationship or you're married, and we know there's a lot of challenges in marriage. Let nobody lie to you. As much as maybe people are not showing everything, you don't need to be the person to be exposing every little detail about your marriage or your relationship. You don't know even the person that you're telling if they are happy for you that you're in a relationship or they are not. But you go ahead and you hang your dirty linen for everybody who cares to listen. It's like you have stripped yourself of clothing, because especially if it's in marriage, there are some things which are very private. You think these people, you're going to get sympathy from people, that people watakuhurumia. Imagine people can fake that wanakuhurumia on the face, but the little secret that you told this kind you call friend, the person you call confidant, there's nothing that you can never convince me that this person is a confidant. Have you realized that? Have you seen sometimes you tell someone something and you tell them, please usiambie mtu, it's just between me and you, please keep it between me and you. You'll be shocked that 3 years down the line, not even years, 2 weeks from then, they will go to another person B, and they tell them the same thing. You know, there are some people, this thing cannot keep quiet. You think you've said a secret to your confidant, but you don't know this person. You know, people can fake it. You cannot know the real person. You think you've told your relationship problems to people. This same person will go to the next available person who is willing to listen. Anybody on the street who is willing to listen, and they pour your dirty linen, because some things in like relationship issues, those are very private things. If everybody was going around saying things about the relationship, you would get tired before you even reach midday, because a lot of things happen in relationships, but people have learned to keep things between themselves, because you can't lie. Every relationship, even if you're staying with your own brother or your sister, you tend to get some friction once in a while, because we are humans. Instead of keeping that private things that happen between you and your partner to yourselves, you dashed and you told your confidant, your so-called confidant, that person, as much as that person used to respect you, you divulge even very private things about a small fight that happened. You can't even pray to God to assist you to solve it. Sometimes I say it's better you say, maybe your siblings cannot be as malicious, but these people you call confidants, I don't know what. People know how to call them. 2 weeks down the line, everybody knows that you were given a slap. I know it's not good. There are some things you can't keep quiet, but then there are some things which are just minor. You go around hanging your dirty linen for anybody that is willing to hear. In the place that you're staying, all your neighbors know about the little secret in your home, that you fight every other day, you quarrel every other day. Nobody can even approach you to advise them with anything, because umeshindwa. You might not know this, but some people will just start putting you in another place that you are not even supposed to be, because you did not know when to share what. You think it's everything that you go around sharing, but because, as you said, you don't have wisdom, to know the things. I know there are some things which happen when things start getting physical. You don't need to keep that to yourself. That you keep quiet, you're beaten and the rest until maybe you lose your life. I'm not speaking about such kind of things. I'm talking about normal disagreements in families. Normal, instead of even taking your partner and have a candid conversation with your partner, you try first. You start having a conversation with this person. Tell this person, I feel that this thing is not good. Is there a way that you can be able to at least rekebisha this thing? Instead of even going to that person that is doing this thing, you have already told anyone who cares to listen that kwangu hatuna amani, tunapigana, very petty issues. Do you think that person that you're telling that kind of thing, she doesn't have her own issues in her own home? They might fake it to you because they want to keep it to themselves. Because umekosa, what is it? What do we call wisdom in Swahili? Because umekosa wisdom, you become so immature. You share everything. They even know. Hata msipokula supper, all your neighbors will know that kwetu hatukukula kitu jana. Very private things in your relationship. Everyone knows. Hauna hata kitu ya kujifunikia tu ya kujiwekea. Everyone knows everything about you. Please learn to keep some things to yourself. It will do you good, and it will even preserve your own dignity, so that when you're walking to places that people even respect you, because they don't know much about what is going on in your relationship or in your marriage. Thank you for joining. Kindly leave a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate. Thank you so much. Kindly leave a chat so that I can know you're here, and so that we can have a very nice conversation. Thank you for joining. Some things that you should not share. I don't know, I'm at number what is unverified information. You heard something from someone, instead of verifying that thing, you are the first person to spread those kind of rumors. By the time people try to look back to know who said that thing, you are the person who is pointed out as the person who shared that unverified information. Lina, thank you, Lina, for joining. Times in places that we are with other people, you might not be able to know what is the truth and what is not true. And instead of taking your time to find out if that thing is actually true, you're the person who is sharing that information faster than BBC. 2 weeks later, you learn that that thing did not happen. And you're the person who shared that info. You might even lose your job. You might lose your job at the end of the day. There are people in offices, they don't know when to speak. You hear rumors in the office, and you're the kind of person. Coming back to this one is what? Thank you, Viola. sorry, motherhood comes with a fair share of its own challenges, and I was dealing with one. So I said, most times, even the offices that we are working in, a lot of information usually passes by. You hear a lot of rumors in the office. Please don't be that kind of a person who is sharing some unverified information. Keep it private, keep it to yourself, because some people have lost jobs because of sharing unverified information, even in workplaces. As much as, because I know those things happen, and I know those things happen in offices, don't be the person who is taking that rumor to the next person, especially if it's unverified. Let it come from the owner of the information. If it doesn't concern you, don't be that person to share, especially, I underline, unverified kind of information. It might land you into a lot of trouble. You might even end up in jail, because most of these things that people spread, some things might be very personal issues, but which are not verified. But then someone got wind of this and they even take you to court. So zip it. If you are not given authority to share that unverified information, keep it to yourself. You'd rather no one says it was so and so who said, and you keep your peace. Thank you for joining. Kindly leave a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. Thank you so much. The next thing that you should not share is your next move. Maybe you're planning to do a certain thing in your life, something which is very big, like something which is capable of changing your life. But then you didn't know when to share this kind of information. And you find out that before you even start the project that you wanted to start, it's already all over the place. The information is all over the place for anyone who cares to listen. And before you even start it, you're already losing it, because your next move is a thing that you've really sat down, you've put all your points down, you've analyzed situations, and instead of keeping that thing to yourself, you start telling those people who you think are friends, those who people are close to you, your acquaintances in the office. Maybe you tell them you're willing, next year you're going to apply for a promotion. You think everyone will be happy for that information that you're sharing. By the time you go ahead to apply that promotion, you're told that position has already been taken by another person, because you didn't know when to keep it to yourself. That is a very private matter that you don't need to share. Sorry, that's very private. How about you just go direct to the person who is supposed to do that thing and leave it to them and to God? But because you think it's public information, you lose all the chances that you had in life, and then you wonder, why am I applying for these promotions and I'm not getting them? It's because you didn't know when to keep quiet. You didn't know when to say it to the next person who cares to listen. Another thing that you should not share, another thing that you should keep private in this life for you to go far, is your problems. You might be going through a lot personally, but do you think unless it's something which needs another person's intervention, but problems, personal problems, things that you could have sorted these things out by yourself. As I said, if someone lies to you that they don't have problems, they are lying. Everyone has problems. And because we all have our own personal problems, you don't need to share your own unless it's something that it's life and death. You know, there's some things that you cannot keep, but it's your own problems. Next time you go to the market, people pretend that they pity you. You wonder, why are people becoming extra nice to me? Why are people, unaona watu na uko sawa? Because you start receiving calls from people. Uko sawa? Oh, tulisikia unapitia hii na hii. You think they care so much? Keep your personal problems to yourself and to your God. Because no matter how much you share, no matter how much you think sharing is caring, I know sharing is caring, but then personal problems, people that other people don't need to know, you don't need to share. Keep it to yourself. Keep it within your circle, maybe between you and your nuclear family. Keep it there. When you bring in a third wheel into the problems that you're going through, there's a lot of wind. Wow. The moment you bring in a third wheel into your problems start escalating. Your problems start magnifying. I'm having a lot of distractions here. You wonder why your problems are magnifying each and every other day. Because you shared with the next person who was willing to listen. Another thing that you should keep private is your current location. It's not everyone who needs to know where you stay. There are people, even without anyone asking, everyone knows they stay in such a place. No one even cared to ask you, Dorcas, unaishi wapi? Nobody even cared to ask you where you're staying. But because you don't know how to keep it to yourself, everybody, the whole social media, even people who don't know you, they know where you stay. Everyone knows all the details about you, where you stay, even the exact location of where you stay. Even the exact location of where you stay, people already know without asking. For example, I'm now going live. I had another caption, going live from, where can I say, from Westlands, Nairobi, for example. That's a very private thing that you don't need to share. Nobody needs to know. Keep it to yourself. Some people are not as good as you think they are. Everybody does not wish you well as you think they do. So keep your location, your current location to yourself. But when you go to a party, you say live from KICC Nairobi. Even your enemy was been looking for that opportunity to lay a finger on you. They already know your exact. You can't even hide the details. going live from Syokimau. God, who asked you? You let people know all the details everywhere you go. I would rather even take a photo, you don't even say where you are until you are out of that place. Now share the photos of where you are, because things things are not as they seem to be. But if you don't have that wisdom, you'll realize too late that you shared too much information, that it was very unnecessary. So keep that to yourself. Another thing that you should really keep to yourself is something which is very private, your salary. When you see people just sitting down, you think now you earn the best salary. The only people who need to know about your salary is maybe your bank. If you are asking for a loan, not the next person who wishes to hear. That's a very private thing. But mshahara niko na, who cares to know? You might expose yourself to people, to bad people with bad intentions. You know, not everybody that call themselves your friend are, or not everyone that you think are happy for you are duly happy for you. You go about sharing the details about your salary. One, people might clap for you. Secondly, you get yourself footing bills from people because now they consider that you are rich. Shock on you. Those people you are telling them about your salary, they might be even be earning more, even triple your salary. Who needs to know? Why should you share? As I said, it's only maybe your bank or your, or I don't know, is it your circle? Maybe your bank or your circle, when maybe you're asking for a loan, are the only people who should know even about your salary. Of course, your employer knows about your salary. Even your colleagues in the office, you don't need to share such a private matter. You might invite a lot of hatred with the people that you are with, not because it was something bad you wanted to share, but because some people might be earning very little from what you're trying to expose, and you start getting resentment from people out of nowhere. People think you're bragging, other people think you wanted to show off, and maybe that was not your intention. But another thing, sorry that it went off. Thank you for for holding back. Thank you for those who are still here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Kindly leave a comment and a thumbs up. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. I'm trying to read your chats. Thank you. Our life went suddenly off, but we are back. Thank you so much. Viola, hope you're back. You think the topic was hot and they're leaving. Hope you're back. Thank you for that chat. Thank you so much. The next thing that you should keep private is your weaknesses. You might think that if you share your weaknesses with even the people that you are with, they are going to feel pity for you. Ati ho, mimi nakwanga na hasira, ati mimi nikiingia ofisi asubuhi naanza tu kulala. Ati a lot of weaknesses. At Mimi, I don't get along with anybody. At I have a lot of problems getting along with people. And you're telling with people you work with, you start wondering why people don't want to work with you in any project in the office. Because you've already told them your weaknesses. You've already told them the things, the weak points in your life. Do you think these people that you're telling them about your weak points don't have weak points for themselves? They do. But they know what to say and what not to say. If you're the kind of a person who doesn't know what to say at what time and to who, you'll find out that you've really lost a lot. Everyone will now be judging you because of your weaknesses. You know, we all can identify our various weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses. Nobody is perfect. We all have a lot of weaknesses in our lives. But if you're the kind of a person who exposes all the weaknesses that you have, instead of going back to yourself and working on those weaknesses, you begin exposing those weaknesses to themselves. You expose those weaknesses to those people who have the potential of giving you even a promotion at work. You go to your in-laws' place, some things that you know you have it on yourself instead of keeping mum, you go exposing all those details to everyone, even to places that nobody was interested. And you find out that you lose a lot of respect because you didn't know when to share your weaknesses and who was willing to listen to them. At the end of the day, you lose a lot. You might have built your career starting from being a very junior employee in the office. Now you're in a place that you're almost becoming even the boss in that position. But then in a meeting where everybody is seated in a meeting, instead of keeping those things private to yourself, you go around exposing all those details to everyone in the office. You're thinking people will now pity, you want to attract pity parties in the office. You let the cat out of the bag, exposing all the weaknesses that you have. Please, let's be sensitive. Let's know that we can work on our weaknesses on ourselves and improve on them. There's no need of sharing this private information with anybody. Work on your weaknesses on your own. Everybody else has their own weaknesses and they're really trying to work on their weaknesses. But you, because you lack wisdom, you go around sharing those kinds of private details about yourself. And you end up wondering why nobody takes you serious. In anything that you do, nobody takes you serious. You try telling somebody something, but already they have formed a certain image about you in their heads. They never sorry for that. Our aeroplanes are passing by. As I said, you wonder why nobody is taking you seriously wherever you go because they know all your flaws. Wanajua shida zako zote. They know all your weak points in life. So, my people, let's keep our weaknesses to themselves. Nobody cares to know unless you want them to know. Another thing Another thing that you should really keep private to yourself is your career progression. Not everybody is lucky as you. There are people, but they were very lucky. By the time they're 25, they're occupying very good positions in offices. Maybe you are lucky, you got that position directly from maybe school. And there are some people who really started from scratch in that office. They started maybe as an office assistant and they're still struggling in that position. They have not progressed even a bit, but you fail to know when to tame your ulimi. You boast in the office, you say, as young as I am, nimebakisha tu mwaka mbili nikuwe director. And you see people have really kept quiet. They're now starting to look at you. You think they're becoming attentive so that they can clap for you. There are people who hawajiamini. They like the praises that they receive from people. You think people are really happy for you for that small detail that you shared. Ati nimeingia juzi position na in 2 years time, sorry, it might not come out as such. You might say nimeingia hii position juzi na already nimepandishwa cheo. And there's someone in that office who has worked their hard time out trying to get a promotion and they have not gotten that promotion. Instead of keeping your career progression mute and to yourself, you go around sharing that private kind of information to everybody. And you wonder why you have a lot of enemies in the office. You wonder why you have a lot of enemies in the workplace. It's just because you didn't know what to share with people around you. People have a lot of struggles in life, even within the office. We are speaking about career progression. So this is an office setup. You might not know the struggles of people that even you're working with in the office. Some people have really stagnated in one position in the office for even more than 5 years. But you came the other day and already you're bragging that you're almost becoming the director. Hata sijakai position sana, ati Mungu ni mkuu. Sijakai position sana and already naona signs ya kukuwa director. Ati nimeingia tu juzi, now I'm a deputy director. Na kuna mtu who has been there for 5 years. They have this thing in their heart that they're asking their God, why am I here? What have I done wrong? But instead of keeping your career progression, when you get a letter of promotion, everybody gets to know in the office. When you get a letter of promotion, office haitakalika. It's on everybody's face. How about you get that letter of yours, zip it, keep it safe, come home later, have a field day, read about it, and keep it to yourself. If you don't let people know about it, people even don't care to know, and nobody is going to build some resentment to you. Some people might think you're favored, or maybe even you're working hard and you got that position. You don't need to expose such private details, because in offices there's a lot of opposition. Everyone is doing anything to get promoted, and when they get promoted, there are people you'll never know. By the time people know in the office, it's many years. But the other people, everyone knows every step they make. and you think you're intimidating other people in the office, but that is not the case. You might be attracting bad energies to yourself. Nje kuna some people who's negative energy. Don't attract negative energy to yourself. Mute. Keep those things to yourself. Your career progression is your own path. It's not everybody's business. Keep it to yourself. Another thing that you should really keep private until you have been asked to divulge that kind of information is giving personal opinions. There are some people in a crowd of people, some people are having a conversation, nobody has even asked them a question. Maybe it's a very sensitive matter. Nobody has even said, Priska, can we hear your opinion on such a thing? Nobody has asked you. And this is a very sensitive matter that can even bring problems to you. Know when to give your opinion. Know when your opinion matters. And if you think your opinion can give you trouble, zip it. Keep it to yourself. You'd rather, there's a place that I read that there are some people who keep quiet. You think they're very wise, but the moment they open their mouth to speak, you start forming another different opinion about these people. So why should people know that you're very unreasonable? Why should everybody know that? Maybe people are speaking about very serious matters. You clearly don't have an opinion to assist or to improve or to give solutions to a certain very important matter, because you can't skip mom. You want to be known that you're in a meeting. It's good to speak in meetings, but learn when to speak. You're in a meeting, nobody is even asking you about it, but you're already voicing your opinion so boldly. And people start looking at themselves in wonder. You think people are surprised of the points that you are. You think people are now, watu wameshangaa points unamwaga. You know, instead of even reading, you know, there are some people who cannot read the mood of a place. They just speak, giving out irrelevant opinions that no one asked of their opinion. And people start looking at themselves. And because maybe people cannot leave that meeting, they allow you to have a field day. They allow you to expose yourself. Some people in their hearts are very happy when you expose your ignorance. You think you're churning out points, kumbe you're exposing your ignorance. But because you don't know when to stop, it's even better you say one thing that carries weight and you keep quiet. You don't need to speak unnecessary things, exposing yourself to anyone who cares to listen. You talk. Mpaka watu wanaangaliana wanasema, tuko wapi? Because you didn't know when to voice your opinion. You thought that when you go to any meeting, you have to speak so that your presence can be felt. Your presence can be felt even by you saying one point that adds value to that discussion. But if you realize that what you are about to say doesn't add value to that particular meeting or to that particular gathering, even in family gatherings, that people want to be known that they are there. They say all the unnecessary things that they think in their heads, all the unnecessary things. Unashangaa kwa nini watu wamenyamaza. You think your points are sinking in, kumbe watu wanavumilia. So let's please have the inner eye to know what kinds of opinion that you can air in front of people. Sometimes you have to keep your opinion to yourself unless you're asked about that opinion. You'll rid yourself a lot of trouble and a lot of judgment. Because if I keep quiet like this and you're there, I'm just keeping quiet like this, will you know what's going on in my head? Will you be able to judge me? You ask me something and I just say yes or no. Will you be able to judge me? We are in a meeting. I'm not speaking, I'm just listening. I'm just listening and looking at you. Will you be able to make a judgment about me? You will not be. But as soon as I open my mouth to speak, you can easily categorize me. You can easily categorize me to the place that you think I fit because of the things that I'm saying. So it's not everywhere that your opinion matters. Sometimes it's prudent that you keep quiet, you listen, and you keep your opinion to yourself. Keep your opinion private. If you know that's not going to add any value, keep it to yourself. You don't need to expose your ignorance to everyone. You might not know this, but maybe what you're saying is will just depict you as someone who is very ignorant. But because you lack wisdom, you think you must blab everywhere you go. You think you must speak in every gathering that you find yourself in. You wonder why when you go to meetings, people start scratching their heads because they know the opinion master is in. And people are not going to have any meaningful engagement because the opinion master is within the building. You can't, these people, have you seen people that nobody can say anything? When someone tries to say something, opinion masters, they interject at every opportunity until people start wondering, when we didn't go to school as this person, every opinion that anyone says, they interject, trying to show off, trying to prove a point. And it's a shock that those kinds of people, when they are not in the office and there's a meeting, people really rejoice. Hey, at least Leo we will speak and everyone will be heard. Because the other times nobody can speak. They are the SI unit of opinions. It's only the opinion that counts. And if you try to tell them that you think otherwise, you'll be inviting hellfire to yourself. So when people have known that you are such kind of a person, they leave you to talk. Because there's nothing that you can do. Why get into fights with people? Let them talk. The meeting will end and everyone will go their way. So don't be a person who doesn't know when to keep your opinion to yourself. Some opinions, it's prudent that you keep these opinions to yourself. At times, nobody cares. Another thing that you should really keep to yourself is your brand new ideas. You might have been asking God to show you the next move in your life. You might have been researching online. You might have been speaking to your mentors. You might have been speaking to people around you, your parents, your siblings, people who have people who have been there, people who know what they are doing. You have prayed God about it. You have spoken to yourself, and now you have a brand new idea in your head. This idea was going to elevate you from one level to another. But because you didn't know what to keep private, you expose that private thing that you've just realized. You expose it to everybody. You even go ahead to make calls to people. Dorcas, nimepata idea, sitateseka tena. Nimepata idea venye nitajiokoa kwa hii shida niko nayo. I have an idea to improve my life. Then somebody, as humans as you have, people will tell you, hi, ebu share nione kama. You go ahead and you share your brand new idea. You've never had such a thing from another person. It's something that maybe God gave you so that you can be able to elevate your life. But because you didn't know that that is something that you're supposed to keep private, you expose that thing to everybody. Even people you don't know. You meet people even on the way. Instead of saying hi and you mind your business, you go discussing this thing. You even post it online. You go to an extent of even posting those things online. Guys, let me have your opinion on this. If you have such an idea in mind, how are you going to go about it? In your head, you think people will give you honest opinion about that thing that you want to know. But you've just exposed your brand new idea to other people who will be quick to grab it and they run with it. By the time you want to launch a project, someone tells you somebody has already done that. When you try to find out to investigate who that person is, it's the same people that you told. In fact, some people sell people's ideas. Have you seen people who buy ideas? Like M-Pesa. Do you know M-Pesa? There's someone who came up with that idea and they sold that idea to Safaricom. And it was bought by Safaricom. Intellectual property. There are some things that we call intellectual property. There are some people who come up with ideas that are able to generate income to even big organizations. Instead of approaching the organization maybe that can be able to buy that idea from you, you give out that information to people who don't care. People will go and piga kidogo hivi the idea and they go to the same people that you wanted to sell your idea to and they make money from it. By the time you think you're planning yourself, you're going to present your idea to Safaricom or any other institution, you're told we already have that someone has already presented that to us. It's very unfortunate, but you're not going to buy it from you. Your own intellectual property. You didn't know who to share it with. Why didn't you go directly to the people who matter? The people who are supposed to buy that idea. Did you have to share it with everybody? Please, let's keep our private brand new ideas to ourselves. Ideas that maybe God placed in our minds, in our intellect, so that it can be able to assist us. But because we didn't know when to keep quiet, we exposed this information to everybody. And by the time you wake up from the deep slumber that you are in, somebody already has gone to that specific place. And that is information has already been bought by the people who are supposed to buy that information. So don't look down on your brand new ideas. It might be something that is coming to elevate you from one level to another. Don't look down upon those ideas. It might have been used by God to elevate you. Don't share them. If you sleep and you have a dream about something, just go ahead and work on that dream. Don't share it with everybody who cares to listen. Don't go around telling everybody that nimelala usiku nikaota, that I can do one and two things and I'll be able to earn some money. Thank you for joining. Kindly leave a thumbs up. It's a cold evening. Today I was a little bit late. Another thing to keep private is the disagreements that you have, the quarrels, the fights that you have. But because social media has blinded us, every disagreement that you have with people, every quarrel, every fight that you have with anybody, it ends on social media. You start coining some phrases on your status. Have you seen people coining phrases on their status? Hata there are some people you can know what's happening in their lives by just going to their status updates. Every quarrel they have, every fight, every disagreement they have, without even sitting back and calming down, that information reaches social media within a blink of an eye. You find someone updating things on their status, not things to even assist anybody, but everyone knows what's happening in their lives. Any quarrel, there in their statuses, in their Facebook, mitandao zote. In fact, they update across their social media platforms. If they're in any disagreement within their family, it ends up in social media. Small things. Maybe it was even a small fight. Someone has rushed to social media and updated the same. Do you agree with me that there are people who will know the state of their relationship by just checking on their social media accounts? I'm sure you agree with me and you have seen such kinds of people. Please, rekebisha. People don't need to know everything that is going on. As soon as you fight with me, instead of facing the person that you have a disagreement with squarely, you rush to your status and you update. You go telling people, nimekosana na fulani. Everybody knows when you have a small misunderstanding with anybody, everybody gets to know. Everybody gets to know. Nothing. Ukikosana na fulani umeshika simu. He, fulani tumekosana. You're not even ganging up. You want like a gang, so that you gang against that person who did something to you. You start looking for sympathy from people, and you start ganging up against someone because you just had a small agreement. The prudent thing that you would have done is to walk up to that person. If that person is level-headed, walk to that person, tell that person, so and so, you've done this thing and I'm not happy about it. Please, is it possible that you rectify it? Someone who is sensible, someone who is sensible is going to ask for forgiveness and you move on from there. But you escalate even the smallest things. You don't know how to keep them private. You escalate everything for everybody to know. Your business becomes other people's business. Your small quarrel between you and another person, it becomes everybody's business. You go informing people even intimate details about that quarrel. Even the reason why you fought with that person, very intimate details that people don't care about it. You go around sharing that vital information, and then you wonder why even people fear becoming friends with you. It's because they know that when they fight with you, all that information will be public property. People know that when they fight with you, when there is a very small misunderstanding, because even friends have misunderstandings, but people even fear to be friends with you because they already know what is bound to happen. They know if you mess with this person or something goes wrong, or which it's bound to, you'll be exposed everywhere. Your information will leak all over. You know, people even fight because of very small details, but because some people don't know how to keep these things private, they expose it all over the place. They spread it like bushfire. Before even you finish, maybe you had a disagreement here. By the time you go a kilometer away from the place that you had a disagreement, everybody knows WhatsApp groups have been created. There are people who have WhatsApp groups to spread information. All that information is already somewhere. Some people are already privy of what happened. Before you even walk away from the scene, please, let's keep our quarrels, our misunderstandings to ourselves. You don't need to share that. If someone tells you they don't fight with other people, they don't get into misunderstandings, they're lying to you, because we are humans and those things are bound to happen. You know, as human beings, we should agree that there are some things that can happen to us as human beings. And we find a way of solving these issues like grown-ups. You don't need to be that person who is short to share everything. Nimekosana na huyu, next week nimekosana na huyu. Even the other person is not even aware that you are not happy. You know, you can do something to someone that you are not even aware that person is not happy. Instead of telling that person, sijafurahia what you've done, they have already shared this vital information to everybody. Everybody that is caring to listen. You expose all the details about very small misunderstandings. Your status update is always about misunderstandings that you had with people. Even when someone looks down upon you, umekimbia kwa status. Hata ukinidharau, I don't know what will happen. Someone took your money, instead of facing that person square and telling them, repay my money, you go, your status will let us know what's happening. You've rushed to your status, you've already updated. Please, ukiomba pesa rudisha. Who cares? You give people a lot of fodder. You become so petty. Do you think that if you post that thing on that platform, now you're going to get that money that you're claiming you're exposing that person on social media? Thank you for joining. Kindly leave a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate so that we have a conversation. Another thing to keep to yourself is tips and advice. I know some of us we might be giving out advice. There are some people who will to give other people advice, but when you reach a point that you get into a place that you are sharing advice to people who don't care, keep it to yourself. You know, advice is meant to improve people, but there are some people who take it negatively. There are some people when you have a sitting with them, maybe you have a sitting, you are conversing, you tell that person the life that you are taking is not beneficial to you at all. Please do one, two, or three to improve on this. The same person goes and tells other people that ananiambia hivyo kama nani. You might have been saying this thing from a very good place, but know when to share your advice and know who you're sharing that advice to. There's some people who don't care about that advice. Why are you telling them? As soon as you realize that someone doesn't care about that advice, keep it to yourself. You don't need to make a mockery of yourself. You might have very good intentions when you gave out that advice to that particular person, but the whole thing is turned to look like you wanted to mock that person. You know, there are some people who take advice as mockery. They don't see the reason why that person told them that particular thing. You might be seeing that your brother is wasting. You approach your brother, you tell them, change your ways. You have a friend, you see the trajectory they are taking in life is not going to assist them in any way. You try telling them from a good place, but then because this person doesn't care, everything is turned out to look like you are mocking this person. They turn everything around and depict you as a very evil person. Some people even take your words of advice to look like you are mocking, to look like you want to show that you are better than others. When you realize that this is how these particular people are taking your opinion, please keep it to yourself. Please mute. Please go MIA on this kind of a person, because no matter how much you try telling them the truth about a certain matter, they tend to turn around and make it look like you're the bad person here. All your good advice will be turned against you, and at the end of the day, you'll regret this. You'll regret why you took your two left legs to advise such a kind of a person. You know, there are some people who think they are the know it all. They have tried to there are some people who feel like they know everything. They know everything under the sun. And if you try to correct them and tell them this is not how to go about this matter, maybe you are a specialist in that field, they will turn their back on you and start smearing your name with a lot of profanities that you never thought about. Atanaona najua sana. So if you know that your advice will be taken wrongly, keep it to yourself. Those are things that you should really be careful, the people that you give your genuine advice to, so that it's not misunderstood. Maybe your agenda will be misunderstood at the end of the day. Keep it to yourself. Unless you see someone who is open to ideas. I'm sure if you tell someone something once, you can be able to know if this person is willing to take any kind of advice from you. But if you realize that this person takes everything negative, if you tell them this, they miscrew that thing to look like you are trying to show off. In such instances, keep it to yourself. Keep that opinion to yourself. You don't need, advice is not, it's something free that you're giving. Nobody's forcing you. And if you feel like nobody's appreciating this thing, do other things. Mind your business. They, they don't need to agree with you in everything that you tell them. Keep it to yourself. Kindly leave a thumbs up on this live, and I'll really appreciate. It's passing on so fast I can't be able to read. Kindly leave a thumbs up, and I'll really appreciate. Another thing that you should really keep private is things that can make people. You are abandoned. Okay. Is things that can really break boundaries. Keep those things private. You might divulge a lot of information about yourself to other people and even break boundaries. Now everyone is snooping into your private life. You no longer have boundaries. You can't tell them no. You lose that moral authority to stop them from prying into your personal matters. But because you've let these matters all over the place, you don't have any other moral ground to try to shield yourself from the prying eyes of people. You lose the boundaries. So if you analyze some things and you feel like it's going to break boundaries that you've really set up for yourself, keep it to yourself, zip it. Analyze information so well so that you will know what to share. Some things break boundaries between you and other people, and now your information will be all over the place. Things that you thought are going to remain between you and your partner and maybe your kids and maybe your parents and your siblings. Now it's some even private matters get into social media. No boundaries. All the boundaries that you've tried to create with people, some things that people didn't know about you, now everybody knows. It's an open book. As I said, if something is an open book, it means that everybody can be able to read that book. You cannot tell someone, don't read that book, and that book is open. How now? How can you tell someone not to read a book and that book is open? So if you put everything that was creating boundaries between you and other people out there, you will lose people. You will lose the boundary that you've kept between you and the outside world. and everybody will be on your business. Everywhere people are speaking about one or two things that is happening with you, or they are about to divorce, or very petty things. You let the cat out of the bag so early. Now you no longer have you can, when people now have access to information, you can never lie to them because it's out there. They even see you fighting, you even release clips. You think you'll get sympathy from people, that this is a live footage of my fight with so and so. How will you deny something that people have in live footage? And you are the person who is sharing that vital information. How will you tell people not to share that information? You find people in social media saying, nitumie, please share. You lose boundaries with people. And you keep asking yourself, why am I not getting any respect from people? It's because of everybody knows you like a book, inside out. Even the minute things that you should have kept to yourself, everybody knows about it. How about we create and keep our boundaries private? People don't need to know things that we've really created a barrier. In life you create a barrier of the information that even if you have to share some certain information, there's some information that you consider private, even though you want to keep that information private. Sometimes maybe you need to share, but do you have to say all the details, all the juicy details? You share information until the person that was not there is already forming a mental picture of what might have happened. Can't you even give snippets of what might have happened? Just a moment. As I was saying, even if you are to share information about yourself, did you have to share even the juicy details? Doesn't it make you sick that you give out all the details? You think you're entertaining people. Step by step, you say it as it raw footage. It's like someone is watching it on a CCTV camera. Raw footage. Tulifanya hivi, next tukafanya hivi. You're even sweating when you're explaining it. You're shaking as you're explaining it, thinking that people are going to pity you. If you feel that there are some things that you really have to share, you don't have to give us a raw footage of what happened. Please give little sneak peeks and leave the rest for someone to think about it. Some words, as soon as you've spoken those things, there's no way that you're going to take those things back. As long as you have spoken them, they are out there, and you don't have control of how another person interprets what you're saying. And people tend to interpret the things differently. People tend to interpret ideas differently. The things that you are saying, maybe your intention was not to have people understand it that way, but you're not in people's mind to make these people understand the things that you are saying in the way that you wanted them to understand. Now you end up everyone is having their own opinion, and when they give you their opinion, because if you have exposed your private things and people are giving you an opinion, you don't have the authority to tell people that was not what I meant. Everybody will have their own opinion, and they'll be able to say it as they deem fit. They can be able to speak it the way they understand it. You don't have any moral authority to tell them sikumaanisha hivyo. Now you go back to the same people that you're exposing these things, because now they have escalated into things that you didn't think about. Now you get into a very difficult position of explaining yourself again. Imagine you started by giving the raw footage of what happened. Now everyone is having their own opinion on this matter. You are again going back to explain yourself that you did not mean it that way. Why are you putting yourself in this very difficult position? Why are you putting yourself in this position that everybody needs to know exactly what happened? So learn to share if you have to share, to give only snippets of what happened. You don't need to give all the details as raw as it was. Ati mimi sijui kuficha. You think now you're the hero. Ati mimi siwezi ficha, nitasema venye ilifanyika. And you're saying it so proudly. Ati kama ni kuficha, mimi siko huko. Nitasema tu venye ilifanyika. And now you're boasting, and it's something that should have been kept between you and maybe your partner. Have you seen those meetings that even they call? I don't want to say how it's called in my place. And someone is giving raw information about what happened. They are really giving out information like nobody's business. People are left to wonder. All these things were happening to this person. Hata ufichi ingine ya for your own sanity, you share everything to people who don't care. Do you think people care? It's only very few people that care about what's happening to you. And for that reason, you don't need to share the raw footage of things that are happening to you. Keep it to yourself. Unless it's maybe your parent that's going to maybe solve that issue, you don't need to share. You become a laughing stock to everybody. You end up blaming the people that you told. But who told you to tell them? Were you forced to? Were you forced to say that information to these people? No, you were not forced. But out of your own volition, you decided to give a raw footage. The way people may misunderstand it, it's not up to you. You'll have to just live with that thing. And as long as something is out there, taking it back is close to negative. It might take a lot of, even let me tell you, there's no need for you to go back and explain yourself. Let it just go as it is. Because you decided to tell everyone who cared to listen. Don't squeeze your brain trying to find a way to explain yourself. Let it go. And maybe next time you learn a lesson and you ask God for wisdom on the things that you're supposed to share. Another thing that you should not share and keep it private is acts of charity. If you visit a children's home, or if you give someone financial support, or if you assist someone out of your own heart, you are not forced to. You just decided that I'm going to help so and so to do this thing. Please keep it to yourself. We don't need to share that kind of information. We don't need to go with a camera to such a place that you yourself you decided to do acts of charity, acts of service. You decided to visit someone who is sick in the village. You decided to visit someone who is sick in the hospital, and you decided to give them financial support. Nobody needs to know. You don't need to take photos and flaunt it on social media that you went to so and so and you help them this way. You even give the details. Say, I went to so and so's house. I assisted them. I bought them food because they were dying of hunger. I paid so and so's hospital bill. You start saying, I went to so and so's home and I did this and that to them. As I was saying, acts of charity and acts of service should never find its way to people's ears. Let people not hear, unless it's a group that you have decided to go with those people to that children's home or to that sick person's place. Those kinds of information you have to really keep it private. What is the essence of doing something out of your own heart, but then all the information is on social media? You do something small to someone and everybody knows about it. You buy a new provision, very few provisions to, to children, to a children's home, everybody gets to know about it. You visit a sick relative in the village, and everybody gets to know about it. Even people didn't know that that person is not feeling well, they get to know. Visiting my sick uncle, paid his hospital bills. All glory to God. You think you're giving out very important information to people in social media. And you wonder why people in the family are now trying to pry and ask you why you did that. You realize too late that people were not happy about what you did. Maybe that person has been keeping that thing to themselves. Now you've exposed it to everybody. I've paid the hospital bill. I've paid her children's school fees. I've assisted her to till her land. At the glory to God. I'm sorry to use the name of God in vain because that's actually in vain. But people post that have assisted who and what to till their land which was left for so long. Now this year they're going to have food, hashtag food security. Really? Were you forced to do that act of service? And if you have done it, does everybody need to know about it? Does everyone need to know that you've donated the clothes that you're not wearing to someone? Is that public information? Does everybody need to know? What are you going to gain at the end of the day? Some people have been doing much more, but you will never know because they know, because they have wisdom on the things that they're supposed to share. Because they know that this is something which is an act of service. And acts of service are just supposed to be kept between you and the person that you did that thing to. It's something which is very personal. You bring people down thinking that you're elevating them, but without your knowledge, you're exposing people's private struggles in life in the name of trying to put some hashtag on social media. Please let's know what to share and to who and when, so that we don't step on people's feet trying to prove a point, so that we don't step on people's feet, we don't put people's ego down trying to share information. Hi, Miss Lydia, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining my live. It's almost dark, but I appreciate you joining. Kindly leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate. Another thing that you should really keep to yourself. Oh, Miss Lydia, you're on your own life. Oh, I wish I would have joined, but don't worry, I'll join maybe tomorrow. Thank you for joining mine. I appreciate you so much for always joining. Another thing that you should really keep to yourself is your family affairs. You know, everyone has their own struggles. It's okay. Thank you so much for understanding. Thank you, and thank you for joining. You know, there's those things that happen in families. You have your own family affairs between your siblings, between your brothers and sisters. But who are you, the guru for sharing every little misunderstanding within your family, between your siblings, between you and your parents? Everybody gets to know about it. You get everybody who is willing to listen. You tell them, I'm not in good terms with my parents because they did this and this to me. You expose all the minute details. You expose the secrets that your family hold dear to everybody who is willing to listen. And then you later come and ask people questions that people are not able to answer. You start telling people, is it that my family is the only one having problems? Nobody will give you an answer because everyone has their own problems. Nobody should lie to you. But you have to give those kind of affairs that are happening within your family to yourself. Nobody is interested unless you have an itchy mouth that can't keep it down. You can't keep any information, the slightest thing that's happening in your family. You know, some things that happen within our families, they are very confidential. But because you're itching to get sympathy from people, because some people think that when you share those things, people wataona unaonewa sana in your family and they will back you up. Nobody loves you as much as your family loves you. But because something has blinded your eyes, you don't know what to say to who. Your family issues becomes fodder for everybody who cares to listen. So please, let's keep those kinds of information within our families. Family affairs. Every family have their issue, you'll agree with me. But people have found ways to sort it among themselves. You will never even get to know that these people are fighting in this kind of family, you'll never get to know unless the itchy fingers or the itchy people who are the things are itching, they tell you. People have learned to zip everything that is happening within their families. You might never get to know unless they tell you. So keep it to yourself, keep it within your family. And you earn respect. You don't earn respect by exposing those kinds of things. You on the contrary, you earn respect by keeping mute to some things that are happening within your family. An exclaimer to our today's conversation. It's not everything that you keep private. If you feel that something is threatening your life, if you feel like you're getting into depression, if you feel like the things that are happening within your life are now giving you suicidal thoughts, if the things that are happening in your life are now bringing a lot of mental torture to you, that's the point that you have to share that information to the right people, not everybody. That is the point that you get to share that vital information to people who are going to give solutions to that problem. So you've heard it. Don't die and people don't know that you're dying. If maybe your partner is so abusive, they beat you every slight chance they get, don't hesitate to escalate such information to people who are going to assist you, but not use those words against you. Because when you learn the things to share and you know the point with which you start sharing information, you will not hesitate to share some things that are threatening your life. Will you? As much as we have to keep things private, and if you feel like maybe the place that you are in, the relationship that you are in, is not working, you just have to make a very critical decision and maybe walk out. It's better you walk out alive and you save your life. Don't try to prove that you are in a relationship and you're suffering, all in the name of not sharing information with people. If you feel the seat is too hot for you to continue staying there, kindly don't hesitate. It's getting darker. I think you can only see my teeth at this point because everything is getting darker, but I'm finishing. As I was saying, when you reach a point that you see that your life is threatened, please, that is the point that you don't need to keep this information private to yourself anymore. Please share with the people that are going to give you solutions. I hope I'm clear on that. Hey, it's getting dark. So thank you for joining my live this day. I appreciate everyone that joined. I appreciate the thumbs up that I got on this live. I appreciate the chats that you wrote. I appreciate the time that you took to listen to my life. I don't take it, as I usually say, I don't take it for granted. It's a pleasure having each and every one of you. And as we've learned today, let's learn to keep some things private and within ourselves. We don't need to share every detail. We don't need to share everything that is happening within our lives. And when we get to understand this important thing in our lives, we get to live a stress-free life. We get to get respect from people. We get to keep things private among ourselves until the point that we are able to outgrow. And if you have problems with someone, please just walk to that person and try to sort out that issue. No need of going around spoiling someone's name, instead of keeping it private, because our business today is keeping things private between ourselves. It's not everybody that you share your information with is really happy that you're sharing that information. In fact, that information will be used against you in the near future. And you will be wondering why people don't want to tell you anything. It's because you don't know what to share. Thank you so much. God bless you. Let's meet on our next live, and we are going to have another very candid conversation. If you have any comment, please don't hesitate to let me know. And maybe there's a topic that you want us to speak about, something that is touching on our society, it's touching on our personal lives. Please don't hesitate to share. It's getting darker. It's getting darker. If there's something that you want us to discuss, I think at this point what you're just seeing is my teeth. Anywho, as I was saying, if there's something that you feel we can be able to have a chat about, please don't hesitate to let me know, and we are going to have a very candid conversation. See you on our next live. God bless you and have a great evening. Bye.